If everyone could kindly take their seats.
Beats on the track.
Feet once scampered.
Manipal Institute of Communication is a premier media institute offering specializations in broadcast media, communication management, print and new media, and media studies. Students are encouraged to take up numerous academic projects including
Countless souls basked in the morning sun in these courtyards. Hundreds of eyes looked out of these windows, but no more.
regular news bulletins are prepared and packaged through Manipal radios.
In the headlines today, political parties flex their muscles for the forthcoming elections. Industries down shutters, where will the workers go? And a look at ICICI's success story.
Bicycles on MIT campus cannot be a giant wheel ride, but it is indeed pedaling in small ways to a greener, a fresher, less polluted air.
Students of MIC play a key role. Several public service announcements are produced, executed and practiced by students. Marcia, a short film based on the award-winning short story written by Usha Rajagopalan, highlights the life of an undertaker and his tryst with destiny.
मैं माधवन और ये है मेरी कहानी। मेरी दुनिया, मेरी जिंदगी दोनों मौत की तरह ठंड और कफन की तरह सफेद है।
A combination of the classical and the postmodern media is a specialization which allows students to create websites and also renew the spirit in the print medium. Students gain expertise in various aspects of radio production along with first-hand experience in community radio. The future at MIC is just as promising as the students who believe that through hard work and passion, the possibilities are limitless.
Just an old journalist. But sometimes, even a nobody may have something interesting to say, and I am saying it now. To begin with, I was born in Udupi, and Udupi has stayed in my blood. No matter where I go, was completed in 1920, is part of my very existence. I was the first one to have been born there a year later. The house that he built, a one-storied building with a large glass frontage, was considered the biggest of its kind in Udupi and attracted a lot of attention. It still does. It was built in an acre of land which boasted of some half a dozen mango trees, 3 cashew trees, 4 jackfruit trees, a soapnut tree and a 70 flower tree which rose up into the skies. And Father M. Vittal Kamath was a lawyer. He was fifth of a large family of 8 children, of whom 7 were sons and 1 daughter. He married my mother, the only child of a well-to-do landlord whose property my mother inherited. A silver salver was placed in front of me, full so familiar to convent-educated children. Some years ago, a friend with whom I was discussing the aims and object, I also learnt to use a sling or a catapult to good effect. Long years afterwards, when the school observed its centenary, I was invited to be a guest. Oblige. For they caught hold of him and pulled off his jacket only to find that his shirt had no back. It was tied in the back with a string. That was apparently the only shirt that he had and the only jacket. Charlie started to cry, and so did all of us. The idea in asking him to take his jacket off was to get him to bowl faster, not to shame him. But in the end, that was what we did. I learned quite early to live in a world of my own, to which no one, not even a close friend, was admitted. In a way, I was a recluse. In company,
Banked on a narrow road in Ishwarnagar, tucked between a few shops and a cherished hotel, there lies a celebration. A celebration of what was, a celebration of what is, and a celebration of what will be. This celebration is formally known as the Manipal Institute of Communication. And it's time to honor this celebration. MIC is 25 years. If you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be more than enough. We as an institute definitely do have a lot to be thankful for.
So saying, let us invoke the Almighty's blessings in thanks for 25 years of success. We have the
Thank you, ma'ams and sirs, for that marvelous rendition of the song. It has definitely set the mood for the rest of the evening. To quote from a critically acclaimed show, to do nothing is often the best course of action. But I know from personal experience how frustrating it can be. History was not made by those who did nothing.
How apt are those words, especially in the case of our founding fathers of MAHE and MIC, Dr. T.M.A. Pai and Dr. M.V. Kamath respectively. This milestone occasion, this crowd, this very institute would have been deprived of their meaningful existence had it not been for these personalities.
At this juncture, we pay our respects to these stalwarts, without whom there would be no MIC. Padma Shri awardee Dr. T.M.A. Pai, renowned physician, educationist, and philanthropist, built the university town of Manipal in 1953.
Padma Bhushan awardee Dr. M.V. Kamath was a prominent journalist and chairman of Prasar Bharati. He worked as the editor of the Sunday Times and the Illustrated Weekly of India, and as the Washington correspondent for the Times of India from 1969 to 1978. The Manipal Institute of Communication was his brainchild. May we now call upon Dr. Padmarani, Director of MIC, to welcome the gathering.
Chief Guest, Mr. Harish Bijur, Pro-Chancellor Dr. H.S. Ballal, Vice-Chancellor Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Pro-Vice-Chancellor Dr. Narayan Sabahit, heads of institutions of MAHE, university officials and administrators, special invitees, friends from the media, faculty, staff, and alumni of MIC, the current faculty, staff, and students of Manipal Institute of Communication. A warm welcome on the silver anniversary celebrations and alumni meet of Manipal Institute of Communication. As director of Manipal Institute of Communication, I deem it my privilege to welcome each one of you present here physically and virtually to the celebration on completion of 25 years of MIC. MIC is a sought-after institution in the country in the field of media and communication. It has consistently been ranked among the top colleges of the country. Behind huge success over the years are the dedicated teachers, motivated students, and helpful staff who give their best to take the college achieve greater heights of success. I'm grateful to our founder, Dr. T.M.A. Pai, who laid the foundation of this institution, and the vision of Mr. M.V. Kamath and our revered Chancellor, Dr. Ramdas M. Pai, for conceiving the idea of a communication college when there were very few colleges in the country offering courses in communication. The founding director, Dr. Leela Rao, laid the foundation for academic rigor in our curriculum to train students who are industry ready. MIC owes a lot of gratitude to her for the strong base that she laid for the future. Dr. Baroshiva Das Gupta moved MIC to broaden its horizon in terms of infrastructure and various activities carried out in MIC. For a brief stint, Mr. M.V. Kamath and Dr. Tapas Ray were the directors of MIC. Mr. M.V. Kamath remained the guiding force of MIC since its inception in 1997 till his death in 2014. Kamath sir was instrumental in connecting MIC to the world outside Manipal and dreamt not only of MIC but MAHE being among the top universities in the world. Professor Varde Shiregange was instrumental in starting some new courses and revival of the PhD program during his tenure. Various centers of MIC were established during the tenure of Nandini Lakshmikanta. I have had the privilege of working with Mr. M.V. Kamath, Professor Varde Shiregange, and Dr. Nandini Lakshmikanta. I owe in gratitude to my predecessors for building the edifice of MIC, which proudly completes 25 years today. Over the years, MIC has expanded its international collaborations, introduced new courses, and has kept itself updated by introducing the courses as per the NEP 2020 guidelines. It has also introduced BVOC courses in line with the Government of India's vision of skilling the masses, and all the courses offered at MIC have internship integrated in them. Our anniversary is not only about sharing 25 years of accomplishment. It is also about recognizing the tremendous growth that has occurred in our institution and the dedication that it has taken to get there. MIC in 1997 started with 18 students. Today, we have over 600 students in our campus, and over 3,000 students have crossed the portals of MIC. MIC in 25 years is truly a milestone, but to get there, it took sleepless nights, countless hours of hard work, and sometimes time away from family. It is nothing short of patience, passion, and tenacity that has carried MIC so far, and that those same values will keep us pushing through to many more years to come. To remember and appreciate the efforts of our ex-directors, faculty, staff, and the first batch of our students we've gathered here today, and I welcome each one of them present in this historic gathering. The chief guest of our function today, Mr. Harish Bijur, is a brand consultant and founder of Harish Bijur Consultants Limited. He's worn many hats as a sales, marketing, and branding professional, a columnist, author, public speaker. His passions are also in the area of coffee and corporate governance. My cordial welcome to you, sir. Pro-Chancellor of Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Dr. H.S. Ballal, a doctor by training, teacher, administrator, and a sports enthusiast. I welcome you, sir, and Madam Indra Ballal. Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor of Manipal Academy of Higher Education, an ENT surgeon, medical educationist, university administrator, I cordially welcome you, sir. Dr. Narayan Sabahit, Pro Vice Chancellor, Technology and Sciences, MAHE, a geotechnical engineer, researcher, and administrator. I heartily welcome you, sir. I acknowledge the presence of Dr. Jayalakshmi Sabahit. Behind huge success over the years are the dedicated teachers, motivated students, and helpful staff who give their best to make the college achieve greater heights of success. An institution is known by its students. The first batch of students, Vanita Pai, Sharad Haridasan, Alok Singh, who've joined us today, a hearty welcome to you. I acknowledge the presence of alumni from other batches of MIC. A warm welcome to the alumni. In the gathering, I acknowledge the presence of my ex-colleagues at MIC. Welcome to the celebration and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Among the staff, few people have been associated with MIC since its inception. Mr. Jerry Joseph, who's now the director HR at MAHE, is one such person whom all the old students of the first few batches remember fondly and always associate his name with MIC. Mrs. Ratibai, fondly called Rati Ma'am by all of us, has retired from MAHE services but was an encyclopedia for MIC. You wanted anything in MIC library, you wanted to know about any student, you could just call up Rati Ma'am and she would give you the full details of the student, the faculty, as well as the library. All of them identified with her spontaneously. Mrs. Shobha Prabhakar, Ms. Bharti made the trio in the library for a good number of years at MIC, which I think is not only my favorite place, but a favorite place for a lot of us in MIC. I welcome each one of the staff present here. Your hard work and passion has made Manipal Institute of Communication what it is today. I warmly welcome all the heads of the institutions, university officials, administrators, special invitees for today's function. Friends from the press, print and electronic media, an integral part of our functioning, welcome to today's event. Last but not the least, you're my backbone, the current faculty, staff and students of MIC and their families. A hearty welcome to you all. Once again, a warm welcome to all present. Hope you enjoy the evening as much as we enjoyed putting it together. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. When moving pictures were introduced to the world in the 19th century, it formed a path for the diverse world of filmmaking.
Today, film arts have integrated into our daily lives as a prime source of providing information, entertainment, and creative opportunity for employment.
The MIC family wants to pay its respect and adoration to the Institute, and today we wish to do so through a short film. Everyone, we present before you the journey of MIC.
I am nobody, just an old journalist. But sometimes, even a nobody may have something interesting to say, and I am saying it now.
Remove the cataract and he sees. Ignorance is the cataract, said Sri M.V. Kamath, whose brainchild was Manipal Institute of Communication. Manipal Institute of Communication was founded in 1997. The first program that was offered was the MS program in communication. There were 18 students in the first batch of MIC. The institute was housed in the Udivani building. MIC should primarily remember its founding director, Professor Leela Rao. Remarkable was Professor Leela Rao's pragmatism without giving up idealism in any way.
First and foremost, I wish to congratulate the director and faculty of MIC for their efforts in ensuring that high standards of training is provided to the students in the fast-changing scenario of media communication technologies today. Certainly, this would not have been possible without the sustained support of management of Manipal University to the Institute in terms of providing all logistic support needed to maintain the institutional requirements.
In 2002, MIC's current campus was inaugurated. Soon after, a BA program in journalism and communication was started. So we began with a strong emphasis on journalism. Students work on the college newspaper AM Plus, which was initially circulated with the Kannada newspaper Udayavani.
When I came here and I took over as its director, MIC was growing. It was a small fledgling kind of an institute. At that time, Mr. M.V. Kamath, who actually was we can say the founder of this institute, he was fully backing us, and we could really consolidate ourselves as a communication institute. The institute now, it has grown so big, and it is really has made a mark in communication studies in the country.
The Radio Lab.
It's me, and I love giving voiceovers.
Documenting real life stories is what I'm completely into. Radio is what excites me.
And TV studio at MIC were constructed, and they've been a big part of the student experience. Not only do students work on their television projects here, they also work on individual and group films.
Cut. This is what happens when you ask students of media and communication to create a video. They just can't stop talking about themselves.
Everything we learn to do here is experiential. That's why we rate it at the top. You could ask the RJ if you'd like.
Yup. These guys have their own radio station as well.
Sorry guys, I'm a little held up right now. By the way, why do we need visuals for radio? Good morning, Manipal. Gear up for the Yakshagana performance tonight. A traditional art form like nothing you've seen before.
In 2003, Nammangadi was started, giving students experience in organizing events, and in the process helping the NGO Nammabhoomi. Article 19 is a student festival that has been organized at MIC since the very beginning. It still runs today. In 2012, we start the MA Film Art and Filmmaking Dual Degree Program, which is a collaboration with ICAR Paris. In 2012, MIC's PhD program also took off. Since then, MIC has trained 20 PhD students. Professor Varadeshira Gange, former director of MIC, has this to say. MIC has certain social philosophy inbuilt in its curriculum. Social projects are integrated, social responsibility of every kind is emphasized, and hence MIC stands tall. It shines in its silver jubilee and has made a remarkable difference in communication education.
Talking about art and life, we also have a bunch of folks who not only create their artworks, but also bring them to life.
Animation is all about your imagination, taking shape as your creation.
In 2014, we started the BSc degree in animation. We had just 5 students in the first batch, and now we have over 50. At the animation department, students work in multiple areas, creating both 2D and 3D animation, product design and other aspects.
This is a seed thought of Dr. M.V. Kamath. He conceptualized, he imagined a media school, a school which can prepare a stream of journalists of international stature.
In 2015, we started the M.V. Kamath Endowment Lecture to celebrate the life and work of our founder, Mr. M.V. Kamath. Since 2015, many prominent personalities have given the N.V. Kamath Endowment Lecture. There are multiple centers based at MIC. We have the Media Research Center, Multimedia Resource Center, Tagore Center, Center for Creativity Enhancement, Center for Film Studies. MIC maintains a great placement record year after year. MIC continues to perform exceptionally well on the placement front in terms of diverse kinds of roles and responsibilities. Thomson Reuters, Genesis, Network 18, Ad Factors, Social Panga, Social Beat, Viacom, Shabang, Vedanta are some of our key recruiters. Another area that MIC has worked enormously on is its international collaborations. We have multiple exchange programs with universities in Europe and Australia. Many of our students have gone on exchange programs. Several students from universities in France and Germany have come to MIC for a semester. We have also hosted several international conferences.
Our faculty and students are also part of various international organizations which are involved in media and research, like Asian Media and Information Center, the International Communication Association, ICA. MIC is the only institution in South Asia to be hosting the ICA Regional Hub for the second consecutive year.
Our faculty also work in several international capacities and hold office at prominent research organizations such as the International Association for Media and Communication Research, IAMCR. Some of our faculty research is also based upon collaborations with universities all across the world. In 2021, we started the BWOC program. In 1997, we began with 18 students, and today we have 600 students studying at MIC.
For the last few years, we rank among the top institutions in the country in Week, the India Today, the Outlook, and the Educational World ranking. And I hope in the years to come, MIC will not only be the #1 institution imparting media and education and research in the country, but also internationally. And I hope this dream of mine comes true someday.
Our USP is excellence and student friendliness. And because of that, we have been able to draw students from not only India, but also from abroad. They are our pride and they are our glory.
I offer my compliments and congratulations to the faculty, staff and students and wish them all success for the development in their chosen area of work in the years to come. My best wishes to all on this happy and memorable occasion.
Now I really feel very happy and also proud that it is now celebrating its 25 years.
I wish to place on records my sincere thanks and gratitude to the management of Manipal Academy of Higher Education for providing all the support required for establishing and the growth of Manipal Institute of Communication.
Now that you know most things about our institute,
on completing the milestone of 25 years, may MIC shine bright in the media and communication sector in the years to come.
That was delightful. Thank you to all those who put in their time and efforts in making this memorable film. We move on to the next bit of our program, the Vice Chancellor's Address.
Vishishta Seva Medal awardee, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh has served as the Vice Chancellor of MAHE since July 2020. He was in the armed forces for nearly 4 decades and has trained several generations of undergraduate and postgraduate students in the Armed Forces Medical College, Pune. He has acquired his MS ENT from Mumbai University in 1986 and is an outstanding ENT surgeon.
He was previously the Vice Chancellor of Sikkim Manipal University for a complete term of 3 years till June 2020. Lieutenant General Dr. Venkatesh has contributed to the academic, HR, IT, and finance policies of the university for improved productivity outcomes. Under his leadership, SMU achieved the recognition of a leading private university in the country. Now, he is contributing valuably to MAHE Manipal, and we are grateful to have him as a leader of our MAHE family.
We would now like to invite our beloved Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Dr. Venkatesh, to speak a few words in the honor of this occasion.
Good evening, everybody. Warm greetings to all of you present here today on this glorious occasion of the Silver Jubilee celebrations of Manipal Institute of Communication. It's a matter of pride and privilege for me to be here today, and let me greet our chief guest for the day, Mr. Harish Bijur, Dr. H.S. Balal, Mrs. Balal, Dr. Sabahid, Mrs. Sabahid, all the faculty, students, alumni, the press, the guests, and all those who are assembled here today to celebrate this glorious milestone of Manipal Institute of Communication. 25 years in the life of an institution is remarkable, and the journey that MIC has taken in these 25 years since its inception in 1997 through the visionary efforts of our founder, Dr. T.M.A. Pai, our Chancellor, Dr. Ramdas Pai, and the legendary Dr. M.V. Kamath, and all the directors till today, and to the day that Dr. Padmarani is the director as of now. This journey has been momentous, the journey has been incredible. To have produced 3,000 media professionals, we are spread far and wide across the country and abroad, is a testimony to the quality of education and training that MIC has provided. And I was just going through the list of distinguished alumni. My chest swells with pride. MIC is being ranked amongst the best media schools in the country, amongst the first and amongst the best. I think this truly is a testimony to the efforts of the founding director, the founding faculty, the staff, the students, and more so the alumni. Some of the important events that transformed MIC has already been chronicled in the movie, and also via alumni reunion occasion. And let me greet all the alumni of MIC. We are really proud of you. You make us all feel so good when we see some of the most prominent alumni being recognized, being seen in print, on the television, and in the media world. So it's truly an exhilarating feeling of 25 years of journey, and today MIC is in the cusp of greater glory. The leadership, present leadership, the focused approach of the current staff, the non-teaching staff, and the focus that I've been pushing and it has been taken up with a lot of smile has been in the area of research, in publication, partnerships, international collaborations, and we are doing it in style. Let me compliment all of you. I think the next 25 years is going to be really defining for MIC. From being the best media school in the country, I'm sure we will rise to be the best in the world. And the university is committed in its fullest support to take forward the dreams and aspirations for MIC by the founding father, Dr. M.V. Kamath, and all the past directors and the present directors, the students and the alumni. To the alumni, I think you are really the pride of MIC, a pride of MAHE, and 3,000 alumni or an alumni strength of over 2 lakhs in MAHE is a really significant number. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of alumni on this occasion. The perception about the institution, about the university is largely built by the alumni. What they do, how they work, where they have reached. And also there are a few expectations from the institutions, from the alumni, that lot that you can do, a bit little give back to the institution for all that the institution has done for you, philanthropy, contributions, guiding the students, mentorship, providing research opportunities, providing training opportunities, and more than anything else, visiting the institution as, whenever you can, and being part of the institutions. Student is for a period of study, but the alumni is for life. Therefore, we wish all the alumni who are present here today for their accomplishments. We congratulate them, and for their future, all the very best. And we look forward to your continued association with MIC and MAHE. And to MIC, great job, very well done. Future is a little tough, but I'm sure, as we say in the army, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And I'm sure the MIC is all ready to scale newer heights in the next 25 years. And as we approach the Golden Jubilee, I'm sure we'll be seeing MIC at the pinnacle of the world. I wish MIC all the very best. And I congratulate MIC for all its achievement. And let me assure you on behalf of our Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Bilal, and myself, Vice-Chancellor, and the entire administration of MAHE, that we are with you. Just go ahead, and all support will be forthcoming. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. It has always been a pleasure to have you with us.
Nothing is forgotten, not even you. Life did record everything we went through. I am grateful for this time with you.
This is an extract from a poem by an anonymous source. Reassures all our former staff and students that you are cherished even today.
It's the time to acknowledge the MIC's extensive past through recognizing personalities in the audience.
This evening, we boast a gathering of some of MIC's former directors and faculty. We are also very glad to have an audience possessing some of the very first of MIC, the batch of 1997-99. We extend our gratitude to them, and we are delighted that they could join us today.
So saying, we would like to call upon the Pro-Chancellor, Dr. H.S. Ballal, the guest of honor, Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, and Mrs. Indira Ballal on the stage. We request our Director, Dr. Padmarani, to escort them to the stage.
May we now request the presence of our former directors on stage. We request Dr. B.P. Sanjay, Professor MIC, to escort Dr. Buroshiva Dasgupta and Professor Varadesh Hiragange to the dais.
We also invite Ms. Shruti V. Shetty, Assistant Professor MIC, to introduce our former directors.
Check. Namaskara, a very good evening to all. I quote Warren Bennis, "Leadership is the capacity to translate vision to reality." I am privileged to talk about two such individuals who had the vision to lead MIC to its current reality of being a hub of creativity and dynamism, Dr. Boroshiva Das Gupta and Mr. Vardesh Hiregange. I call myself privileged because I had the opportunity to be a student in Boroshiva sir's classes and have the twin experience of being Vardesh sir's student in the classroom and also learn all about being a teacher from him. I will delve into saying a few words about each of the past directors of MIC. Dr. Boroshiva Das Gupta served as Director MIC from 2005 to 2008. He has a PhD from Calcutta University. He has worked as a journalist in The Statesman, The Times of India, and Indian Express, starting as a trainee reporter and going on to become the resident editor of Financial Express. He then shifted to media academics. He became the director of Manipal Institute of Communication, then director of NSHM Communication Institute, Kolkata, and Karnavati University, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. At present, he is the advisor to School of Mass Communication, Fine Arts and Design of Sister Nivedita University, Kolkata. He has to his credit several books on media and environment and wildlife and development. Dr. Das Gupta is also the founder editor of Global Media Journal, India edition, which is published by MIC Mahe. Mr. Vardesh Hiregange served as Director MIC from 2009 to 2014. He is a senior academic with his background in journalism, having worked in Times of India and the Deccan Herald. During his tenure, MIC rose to factually #1 position in India, according to the India's Today survey way back in 2012. He has also steered Rashtrakavi Govind Pai Research Institute, Regional Resources Center for Folk Performing Arts, Kanakadasa Research Center, and Yakshagana Kendra Udupi with his vision and perseverance. He has also been a visiting professor at Hochschule University, Bremen, Germany. He is the founding director of Gandhian Center for Philosophical Arts and Sciences, Mahe. Yava Shabda Damai is his poetry collection. His interests include environmentalism, philosophy, peace studies, media, literature, and other arts. Philosophy of education is his recent area of research. Well, all these words about achievements and accolades should not take away from the fact that these two are wonderful and warm people. What stays at the top of my mind is sitting in Boroshiva sir's global communication classes, listening to him passionately discuss Friedman's World is Flat. Me sitting in Vardesh sir's cabin, all nervous for my first class as a teacher, and his unwavering faith giving me courage. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to acknowledge not only their contribution to MIC, but also to celebrate them as individuals who have brought joy to their colleagues and students. Thank you, sirs, for everything. I now request the dignitaries to do the honors. Mrs. Indira Balal, Dr. H.S. Balal, Lieutenant General M.D. Venkatesh, and Dr. Padmarani, please felicitate the former directors of MIC, starting with Dr. Das Gupta. Indira ma'am, if you could present the sash. I think a bigger round of applause. We had a whole video about how enthusiastic you people are. I think you need to prove it. I now request the dignitaries to felicitate Mr. Vardesh Hiregange. It is true that the past shapes the present, but it's the present that molds the future. This felicitation ceremony is incomplete without MIC honoring its current director, Dr. Padma Rani. I request the HODs to join us on stage, please. Dr. Shubha, Dr. Padma Kumar, Dr. Balaji, please join us on stage, please. This is a surprise for ma'am, and thank you, ma'am, for being such a good sport. Just a few words about ma'am. Dr. Padma Rani is currently Professor Director, Manipal Institute of Communication, a post she has held since December 2017. During her term as a director, MIC has been ranked in the top 10 mass communication colleges. Before joining MIC, she was the head communication School of Communication and Media Studies, MOP Vaishnav College for Women, Chennai. If we could all stand for a picture. Padma ma'am was awarded the Best Teacher Award for Teaching Communication 2010, no surprises there. Exceptional Leader of Excellence by Global Digital Annual Women Economic Forum in 2021, and she has been honored by Global Media Education Council for stellar contribution to media and communication education in 2021. HODs, 2 minutes. Thank you. An excellent orator, sometimes a disciplinarian, sometimes a mother figure, and always a mentor par excellence. Padma ma'am, we're truly privileged to have you lead us. Thank you dignitaries, thank you HODs for doing the honors. Thank you Dr. Borushiva Das Gupta, Mr. Viradesh Hiregange for gracing the occasion and accepting our token of love. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Our sincere thanks go out to our former directors, Dr. Das Gupta and Professor Hiregange. We greatly appreciate you being here tonight, despite your busy schedules. Thank you once again.
We also extend our thanks to Dr. H.S. Ballal, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh and Dr. Padma Rani and Mrs. Indira Ballal, and ask them to remain on the stage to felicitate the first batch of MS Communication students present here.
We invite you to come back on stage. We're really sorry.
I request the Director of Alumni Relations, Dr. Rohit Singh, to join the dignitaries on stage.
We are thrilled to welcome the batch of 1997-99 onto the stage. Mr. Alok Singh, Ms. Vanita Pai, and Mr. Sharat A. Haridasan, who are going to be felicitated now. We request Mr. Sriraj Gudi, Assistant Professor and Alumni Coordinator, to introduce them to our crowd.
Good evening, one and all. This is my honor and privilege to introduce the members of our first badge. Sharat A. Haridasan. Sharat A. Haridasan, belonging to the 1997 batch of MS Communication, has enjoyed a successful career directing, editing television commercials and music videos in the Indian film industry. Sharat is a creative leader, storyteller, and strategic thinker who collaborates with and works with the business and departments of transitional growth rates. He develops premium creative solutions and innovative executive strategies that have high engagement rates. In 2014, he directed a full-length feature film, Salala Mobiles in Malayalam. He had also written screenplay for the Tamil feature film, Anantapurthu Veedu, for the director Shankar in the year 2010. He had directed a documentary on the ritual of fire, a complex Vedic ritual. He has produced and directed telecommercials in Malayalam and Arabic languages. He has also shot wildlife films in Africa. With this, we present before you our proud alumnus, Sharat A. Haridasan. Vanita Pai, also belonging to the same batch. Ms. Vanita Pai is also a well-known yoga trainer and an art critic and a business leader. A practitioner and a passionate trainer of BK Sainga School of Yoga, Ms. Vanita leads Mani Prana Yoga Studio in Manipal. Ms. Vanita has also completed a 200-hour teacher's training course and is an Ayush certified yoga protocol instructor. Ms. Vanita co-authored 2 books with Ritu Khoda, Raza's Bindu in 2016 and I Spy Indian Art in the year 2017. She also led Art First publication as a director. Ms. Vanita is currently serving on the boards of directors of Manipal Press. Alok Singh. Mr. Alok Singh is another representative from the 1997 batch, a link between generations. In his journey as a journalist, he mentored many juniors from MIC. Alok had an experience of over 2 decades as a journalist, handling business and economic aspects. Over these years, he served in India's prominent publications like the Indian Express, Hindustan Times, and Mint. In his career, Alok documented India's journey in the economic and finance sectors as a ringside observer. Alok, who is one of the founders of Open Magazine, one of India's leading magazines today. He also served as a journalist in the United States of America. His passion towards wildlife made him to document Bandhavgarh Wildlife Sanctuary. He also contributed in creating Planet Vidya, a e-learning platform. With this, I request the dignitaries to do the honors for all the members of the 1997 batch.
you, madam.
I wish to thank all the first year students, first batch of 1997 students who are virtually online. And thank each one of you because one connected me to the other and I was able to trace all the 18 students of the first batch. So thank you Vanita, thank you Sharad, thank you Alok, and also Sukanya who was able to connect me to all of them. And thank you all who are virtually watching this today.
A humble thanks go out to all the alumni, Mr. Alok Singh, Ms. Vanita Pai, and Mr. Sharat Kumar. We are very glad that you could make the trip to Manipal and join us today. You have set an example to the younger generation of students, and we hope that you remain in touch with us.
Now, we would like to address the presence of our esteemed chief guest. Mr. Harish Bijur is a brand thinker and practitioner and has a global consulting presence through his boutique consulting outfit, Harish Bijur Consults Inc. He is an avid public speaker and has spent over 10,400 hours addressing corporate audiences to date. We are indeed very glad to have him seated amongst this board of dignitaries. May I now call upon Ms. Anupa Lewis, Assistant Professor, to introduce the life and works of our chief guest, Mr. Harish Bijur.
Mr. Harish Bijur is a brand thinker and marketing practitioner operating out of Bengaluru, India. He runs a unique boutique consulting outfit titled Harish Bijur Consults Inc., a brand name that has a consulting presence across the markets of Hong Kong, Seattle, London, Istanbul, Dubai, and the Indian subcontinent. On these lines, Mr. Harish has spent his career across the aggressive realms of FMCG, telecom, and consumer durables, in which capacity he is known for being ahead of the consumer thinking curve year on year. A public speaker, Mr. Harish corresponds with corporate audiences across the globe, largely dwelling on the subject of motivation, people management issues, brands, marketing, and business. Mr. Harish teaches at the Indian School of Business, Hyderabad and Mohali, in addition to semesters at overseas business schools in the US and Europe. He has additionally been teaching at the Indian School of Business for the past 20 years. Mr. Harish has recently published a book titled Marketing Trends, Smart Insights into the World of Indian Business, a resourceful volume written in a style that is distinctively young and enterprising. Besides, he is currently working on a second book that aims to discuss the subject of co-branding, a project which holds the title Brand Irrationals, a Fundamental Journey into Brand Think. To this, one may add yet another commission book that deliberates over the subject of customer service mechanisms, emphasizing contemporary marketing contexts. Moreover, Mr. Harish is actively involved in research relating to rural consumer behavior, rural retail networks, and trade mechanisms. The existing research exercise he involves spans a 6-year period covering about 84,850 consumers across India. To sum up, Mr. Harish has published papers extensively on subjects relating to strategic marketing, branding, consumer behavior, retail networks, rural marketing, and trend analysis. He contributes regularly to business publications on branding, sales, distribution, and related topics. Currently, Mr. Harish is working on the bleeding edge brand and marketing work relating to Metaverse and Web 3.0. One can find more about Mr. Harish Bijur at harishbijurconsults.com. We welcome you to the podium, sir.
Do give me a moment. Well, I'm just waiting for my slide presentation to come online. If you could kindly organize that. And in the meantime, pleasure being here. What an elegant evening. I mean, you know, what a lovely outdoor setting. And of course, this is Manipal. And for me, Manipal is a republic on its own. Now, that's a dangerous thing to say. But I'd just like to say that Manipal is an island. And if you look at the demographics of Manipal, it's one of the youngest cities in India, for obvious reasons, okay? Because fundamentally, the average age profile of this city is about 23. So all those of us who are above that age profile don't belong here. So to an extent, I would like to credit Manipal and you know, Dr. T.M.A. Pai, and of course, the fact that Manipal has emerged to be in this leadership situation as a town which specializes and excels in n numbers of things. Communication is just one of it, as you know, because you're good at everything that you do, and India is getting educated out of Manipal, either physically or virtually. So you belong to this, you know, town which has become a statement of excellence. So firstly, heartiest congratulations on the silver anniversary. And I would like to say that, you know, this island, countries of the world, we have Singapore, which is the tiniest, but it is also a big one. And among all the towns and cities in India, Manipal is a tiny one, but you are at the forefront of doing what you do well. I'm going to now jump into this presentation. Can I have my presentation up? Yeah, that's why I'm speaking on. No, I have to operate it from here, and therefore it's to be up. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting too much time, as the presentation comes up, I hope it comes up. Let me say that I'm doing this presentation on a subject which I call Mind the Gap, the communication gap, okay? Because I think you've had an elegant evening. I don't want to kill the buzz, but sometimes when you have to speak some stuff, you have to speak that stuff. And I think what's really happening is, gone are the older days, the way we used to communicate. Gone are the older days, the way we used to write. Gone are the old days, the way we used to make videos. Gone are the old days, the way we used to do radio. And gone are the old days, the way we used to do public relations. Communication is going through a humongous change, a sea change which is coming by. So the question I'm asking is MIC prepared for this change? And the answer is going to be yes, I'm sure. But the point is, everything that you learned in the past is not going to work in the future. And therefore, I'm going to, you know, act a bit antsy. And I'm going to talk to you about some subjects which could be a wee bit contentious. Okay. Now, I need to know if my presentation is going to come up. Is it going to? Yeah. Okay. If it doesn't, then you're going to miss a lot of exciting slides, which are visuals, because I knew it's an evening function. All of you are going to be hungry by now. And if I don't give you something to eat, you'll eat me up. So let me see if it comes up. it's quite possible that this machine is not connected to the, yeah, oh wow. Give them a big hand. Thank you, thank you. Okay, since we've lost a bit of time, I'm going to be very quick in the way I'm going to be speaking. So be with me. First of all, mind the gap, the communication gap. There's a big, big gap coming up ahead of us. And this gap is all about technology. Gone are the days. You know, many of you don't even know where your body ends and the digital device begins. Take it from me, you don't know. Many of you live closest to your mobile phone. How many of you have mobile phone anxiety? Put up your hands. Come on, yeah. Yeah, you keep looking at your mobile phones all the while, okay? And how many of you are on WhatsApp all the time? Come on. Put up your hands. Some exercise, okay. Right. So if you look at it, I think we are sold into the digital era. And this digital era is getting redefined. There's an animal which has just entered the room which is called ChatGPT. And how many of you do your projects on ChatGPT as of now? Yeah? Oh, okay. You haven't been banned as yet. Okay. So till then, let's talk about the fact that ChatGPT is going to be the big animal in the room. And by the way, the power of ChatGPT which you see today is going to be exceeded by a factor of 10,000. By a factor of 10,000. By the time ChatGPT 4.0 hits the scene. And the rumors are that this is going to happen in the next year. So, mind the gap. For a start, we are just about emerging out of the pandemic. The pandemic was a terrible thing. It's changed our lives very, very dramatically. We died 2 years too early. A lot of us lost 2 years of our lives. Okay? And I think, you know, that's the reality. Everything around us died as well. Many of us had our dear ones dying. Yeah? And I think, you know, the pandemic actually made all of us go indoors. There was a time when I was growing up, my granddad used to say, young man, yes, once upon a time I was young as well. Granddad said, go out there and conquer the world. The world is your oyster. Not anymore. I started telling young people, young man, the oyster is your world. Your home is your world. Everything you do out of it is going to matter, not the world. So if you look at it, we went down the COVID hole only to mushroom again. And today's gathering is proof that we come out of that hole. Poverty deepened and no one saw it. Poverty is a reality. 93 million people have actually plunged into poverty post-COVID. And nobody wants to see that most of the time. Businesses which want to do well must see all of it and recognize all of it, including new tech. What is a brand? All of you handle brands, by the way. Manipal Institute of Communication is a brand, a big brand. All of you handle it. What is a brand? There are many definitions. My definition is the brand is a name, the brand is a thought, the brand is a symbol, etc., etc. But essentially the brand is a thought. Manipal Institute of Communication is a thought that lives in people's minds. Manipal Institute of Communication is a thought that lives in your mind, in your parents' minds, in your recruiters' minds, in the people who look after your ecosystem at Manipal even. And therefore, the brand is a simple thing. It's a simple thought, a thought that lives in people's minds. And if you look at it, research is telling. My post-pandemic research exercise tells me that people are consuming brands, you know, humongously today. You know, physically, as usual, and in the mind. We consume a lot of brands in the mind. We have gone visual. And you guys are in communication space, which simply means that Instagram is it. How many of you are on Instagram and actively post? Oh God. I mean Insta. Insta is it. Twitter, LinkedIn. Each one of these are going to be the mega vehicles which are actually going to tell us what to do next. Okay, brands have become very intrusive. Society has morphed. Forget society morphing. In fact, for independence came by, and that brought in pride in being independent, something that we live with. The Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan Nara of India. A nation passionately fighting for nationhood and supremacy. That was phase 2. It led to post-independence, working for the nation, rebuilding it. That was our goal, and all of us wanted to work for the government maybe. The Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan continued. Government's work is God's work was the norm. And if you look at it, it led to government work can be done by the government. Now let me work for the private sector. And we started working for the private sector. We started working for the self now. It's the startup culture. So in phase 4, we are working for ourselves. And I think the rise of early individualism is out here. Each one of you works for yourself in the future. The rise of elitism is also there. In schools, Medicare, shopping locales, travel, elitism has been there for a period of time. And 5, undoing the elitism. We are just about entering a phase, my dear friends, when you're going to be entering the work environment, when you're going to undo elitism. Now, that's a big one, man. That's a big one, which means to say that those with an elitist bent of mind will not be super successes 5 years from now. Only those who undo elitism are going to be the super successes. If you really look at the political ecosystem is pushing for it. If you look at the cinema ecosystem, the kind of cinema India wants to watch, it is the RRR kind of elitism and not the old elitism which Hindi cinema used to throw at us. So if you look at it, undoing it all, statutory warning, my dear friends, marketers, advertisers, media folk, digital people, communication people, you need to be aware of it. Now let's forget about self-pleasure. Essentially, I'm saying that we are a generation which is about ourselves. At the same time, self-pleasure means just one thing. It means I, me, myself, and my family of 5.5 people. The Indian census says there are 5.5 people in a house. I've been to many houses, never found that half a person. But the point is, 5.5 people is all you're bothered about. The communication colosseum is out here. In the Roman era, people would assemble and watch people being torn apart by tigers and animals and people fighting gladiators, people getting killed, off with his head syndrome. The same thing is happening in communication. We are very, very sensitive to stimuli as a nation of people watching communication coming to us now. And I'll give you an example. Whether it be world organizations, governments, marketers, advertisers, brands, political parties, whoever it is, individual sensitivity is at its sensitive best. We got very sensitive with COVID. COVID pushed us to the wall. We got very sensitive. We are still very sensitive. And mobs are the reality. And mobs are fueling this mob mentality to say, let's watch advertisers fall down. Let's watch communicators fall down. And that's actually happening. Sitting in the gallery pleasure. People sit back and watch an advertising and pan it. I'll give you some examples. This is what I call the modern advertising colosseum. And the gladiators are the brands in focus and critique. These are brand logos. Do you recognize any of this? What is that M? Yeah, there's a Myntra there. There's Murugan Idli. They got into trouble recently. These are what I call the battered brands of India. Somebody looked at the Myntra logo and even Murugan Idli logo and they said it's obscene. It's against the feminine form. My God, what is this? Is this an ink blot test being done on brands? The reality is that ink blot test is actually being done by people, and people who want to criticize will criticize, and they pull these brands down, so much so that Myntra changed its logo. I don't know what Murugan Idli did. The Titan Tanishq expose, at a point of time, Titan went in and said, Tanishq said that's second marriage. And people said, how dare you talk second marriage? And the Myntra logo led on to the Sabyasachi. He went a bit here and there. The Mangal Sutra campaign of Sabyasachi. I don't know if any of you seen it. Yeah, okay. So if you look at it, the Dabar Femme Karwa Chauth campaign. People saying that, this people dictating what should be in advertising, and people are going to dictate that to you tomorrow. You must speak like this. You must wear this and talk. If you're going behind a camera, this is the way you have to behave. And you'll be accepted only if you behave in this way. Now, these are big, big challenges for the communicator. We need to wake up, listen to that. And we had Fab India's Jashne Rivaz as well. typically attracting flack. Nobody was spared. Brands, my dear friends, and there are many consumer avatars of every kind in the kingdom of brand architecture are being challenged today. And I think, inflation is hitting brand society at one end, and at another there is selfish and sensitive society. So inflation is hitting us. Please understand, inflation is biting into us. And at another end, people are sensitive. Therefore, communication must get very much more sensitive than it ever has been before. Communication cannot be in one language anymore. And India used to communicate in English. It cannot be that. Communication, advertising used to be in English in the old days, became Hindi later. It cannot be only Hindi. It has to be in 29 different languages. Not only that, the local intonation that comes, if I make a film in Kannada, it has to have, if I show Bangalore Kannada, in Mangaluru I will get, panned. I have to show some Mangaluru Kannada also out here. So, if I don't say Marai Re, what will happen to my advertising? It will flop in certain areas. So, if you're looking at it, we have to be talking about custom-made pieces of communication which go out, not one ration shop model which is being thrown at one another. Corporate brands, my dear friends, and brands steer their consumer brands. And consumer brands create those valuable corporate brand imageries. And all these corporate brands have been panned. Life in this track is symbiotic, totally symbiotic. Corporate brands need to decide not to nudge society. A lot of us, I told you all these brands which have nudged society. There's a movement called woke. How many of you are familiar with woke? Woke? Yeah. Woke is doing that thing which will wake up an entire nation of people. Woke is nudge people to the point of no return, anger them to that point where they will change their attitude, usage and behavior. Well, my dear friends, woke doesn't work in India. Not yet. Not yet. There was a time when I did a campaign called Jagore for Tata Tea, ages ago, donkeys years ago. Those days, we said Jagore, corruption, this, that. We were able to do it, but not today. You can't wake up the nation today. There will be a time for it in the future, but this is not the time. And my end mantra to all brands and to people like you who will be looking after the communication for these brands is simply this. The brand is a commercial entity. Remember that. You are creative people. I know that. You are very creative people. Don't subsume your creativity. But at the same time, creativity cannot override commercial needs, commercial wants, commercial desires, and commercial aspirations. And that's one of the reasons why balancing the act for students such as you between the creative and the commercial is very, very important. Your stakeholders are essentially commercial stakeholders. They're not creative stakeholders. Your consumers are not creative people. Ouch! They're not creative people. You are a creative person. Your consumer is not. And consumer stakeholders, if you look at it, in sheer numbers, the consumer is ahead. Listen to the consumer because only the consumer is important. And out there, there are lowest common denominator consumers and the lowest common non-denominator consumer. So if you look at it, you have to listen to the grassroots. You cannot ignore the grassroots. Never ever, for now, touch the sensitive subjects that polarize. This is one thing in communication. The creative heart wants to touch sensitive subjects. But in a commercial world, you cannot touch sensitive subjects. I know it hurts. Don't touch religion. In whatever you do, don't touch religion, either straight or obliquely. My mantra, don't touch politics, because politics divides. Stay away from both religion and politics. Both these subjects divide audiences. The subject of communication and the object of communication is to unite audiences, not to divide audiences. If you talk politics, you divide audiences. You talk religion, you divide audiences. The brand is not a social change agent. You are not a social change agent. You are an entity who's catering to the communication needs of corporate India. If you don't realize it now, you'll realize it once you take up a job somewhere. But the point is, the truth is that. In conclusion, my dear friends, I keep saying this rudely to corporates in their boardrooms. I tell them, the business of business is business. Mind your business. The business of business is business. Mind your business. You're not a social change agent. Just look at it that way. Guys, I know you're very hungry, and therefore I'm going to leave you in a little while, but give me 2 more minutes. I'm going to tell you that it's easy to brand anything. So I'm giving you this example just to say goodbye to you. And therefore the Church of Singapore hired an advertising agency, and that advertising agency put this, communication is strategy. Advertising is execution. Communication is strategy. Advertising is execution. Communication is the dog. Advertising is the tail. The dog must wag the tail. The tail must not wag the dog. Strategy must wag advertising. Having said that, they went to a technology of yours. I've made colors which are full tones, quarter tones, half tones, millitones, all kinds of colors. Look at ourselves. We are so colorful. If you missed the sunrise I made for you today, never mind. I'll make you another one tomorrow. God. Repetitive stuff. Nobody can create this kind of repetition all the time. God. How can you possibly be made a self-made man? I specifically recall creating you. God. If you think the Mona Lisa is stunning, you should look at my masterpiece in the mirror. God. Don't forget your umbrella. I might water the plants today. God. This one, I can tell you, I oversaw it being put together. My room is that one on the 4th floor, 407. So from 407, I've been watching all the hard work you guys are doing. God bless to your hard work. I think, please take a big hand for yourselves. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir, for gracing this occasion with your presence. It was an honor to hear you speak and to have you here with us. As a token of thanks, we wish to call upon Dr. Padmarani, Pro-Chancellor Dr. H.S. Ballal, to present our chief guest with a memento.
Mr. Harish Bijur, we request your presence on stage.
Thank you, sir. And ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. With this, we Akshat Shetty
And Srinidhi Rao
sign off and gladly welcome our co-hosts and seniors, Navya and Om, to take over.
It was indeed our honor to host the celebration of an institute older than the pair of us. Thank you, everyone.
Srinidhi and Akshaj for headlining the event so far. Taking over for the rest of the evening, my name is Navya Anil.
And I'm Om Khandeparkar, third year BAMC, batch of 2023. As students who have had the opportunity to explore MIC both offline and in person, we have a holistic view of what communication is all about. MIC's curriculum has shaped and molded us into who we are as we prepare to embark out into the world of media.
Now, we would like to invite the Pro-Chancellor, Dr. H.S. Ballal, and the Director of Manipal Institute of Communication, Dr. Padmarani, to kindly come up on stage to honor the longest serving member of our faculty, Ms. Shobha Prabhakar.
Ms. Rekha Rao, would you please kindly escort Ms. Shobha to the dais?
Even after all these years, Ms. Shobha is the only member of the MIC family who has stuck by our side since the inception of the college. For the past 25 years, she has been smiling radiantly at every student who has ever stepped foot into MIC. We request Dr. Padmarani and Dr. H.S. Balal to present the award to Mrs. Shobha Prabhakar for her endless enthusiasm and support.
Thank you, Dr. H.S. Balal, and of course, Ms. Shobha, for gracing the stage and for being an integral part of this evening.
Dr. Padmarani and Dr. H.S. Balal, we request you to kindly stay back on stage for the next part of the program.
We would like to request Dr. H.S. Balal, Pro-Chancellor Mahe, to felicitate the former faculty members of this hallowed organization with a token of our appreciation.
We'd like to request the former faculty members to kindly come up on stage as we read out their names to receive their mementos.
The names are Mr. Joseph Pavamani, Mr. Raviraj Kini, Mr. Raviraj Kini, Dr. Narayan Gatti, I repeat, Dr. Narayan Gatti, Mr. Samvartha Sahil, Mr. Samvartha Sahil, Mr. Sajan, and Mr. Sarvanan. I repeat, Mr. Sarvanan. Thank you, Dr. H.S. Balal, for felicitating our faculty members. We are honored for your presence at our Silver Jubilee event. Ma'am Padmarani, please stay back for the next part of the ceremony.
Next, we would like to welcome the esteemed Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, the Vice Chancellor, for the felicitation ceremony of our former staff members. Once again, we'd like to request the former staff members to kindly come up on stage as we call out their names. First, we'd like to start off with Mr. Jerry Joseph, Mr. Harish Rao, Mr. Harish Rao, Miss Veena Nayak, Mr. Kishore Kotian, Mr. Jayaprakash M. Rao, Mr. Shrikant Rao, Miss Annapurna BK, Mr. Deepak Vijay Kumar, Mr. Deepak Vijay Kumar, Mr. Ganpati Nayak, Mr. Ashok Shettigar, Mr. Nityanand Nayak, Miss Ratibai Vijay Amma, Miss Ratibai Vijay Amma, Miss Bharti Padmashali, Mr. Harish B. Pujari, Mr. Harish B. Pujari, Mr. Ravindra Nayak, Mr. Prakash Pujari, and Miss Usha Violet.
Thank you, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh. Next, we would like to call upon Dr. Narayan Sabahit, Pro Vice Chancellor, Technology and Sciences, MAHE, to continue the felicitation program. The names are as follows: Mr. Bhaskar Pujari, Mr. Krishna Prasad, Mr. Rajesh Bhatt, I repeat, Mr. Rajesh Bhatt, Miss Uma, Mr. Shyam Bhatt, Mr. Devappa Nayak, Mr. Vedavyas Bhatt, Miss Prabha, Mr. Janardhan Shettigar, Mr. K.P. Shetty, Mr. Prashant, Mr. Shekhar Naik, Mr. Prakash D'Souza, Mr. Leonard, Miss Jaya Lakshmi, Miss Veena Prabhu, Mr. Sandeep, Miss Shalini, Miss Lolakshi, Miss Geeta, Mr. Jagannath, and Miss Pushpa.
Thank you, Dr. Padmarani and Dr. Sabahit. MIC is grateful for the years of hard work that you have contributed to the institution. A special thank you to all the recipients for their endless dedication. We are here today because of the time and effort that you have poured into our organization.
At MIC, we aim to recognize and acknowledge every individual's contribution, especially those who are unfortunately not here with us today. They will be remembered in MIC's history and their legacy will continue on to the future.
Up next, we have a tribute video to commemorate all those we have lost through the years, yet continue to cherish.
Jubilee.com.
Going forward, we would like to introduce our esteemed Pro-Chancellor, Dr. H.S. Bilal, an acclaimed radiologist and lecturer whose prowess and brilliance requires no introduction. He is a well-known and respected figure.
Bilal, after his post-graduation in 1971, joined Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore as a faculty member. He eventually went on to become the Dean of the college in 2001. With his many accolades, Dr. H.S. Bilal has held the position of Pro-Chancellor at MAHE for 17 years and counting.
Throughout his career, Dr. H.S. Bilal has received multiple recognitions for his initiatives and efforts towards the betterment of the medical and educational fields.
Sir, we kindly invite you to deliver the presiding address.
Long program, I'm sure you're not interested in listening to any speeches. So I'm going to make it very short. Distinguished dignitaries, our chief guest Harish Vijur just now said the average age of Manipal is 23 years, he said. Must be true because we have a large young student population, more than 25,000 who form about 25% of the population of Manipal. Indirectly giving a hint to me that you have no place here in Manipal. But I feel, see, if you interact with the youngsters, you mentally feel young. Physically, you might get older, which is a normal physiological process. But I feel physically young, so I would like to continue here till I die. That's what I want to tell Harish, our chief guest. And my dear faculty members and my dear young, innovative, bright, vibrant students of MIC. Because I strongly feel the reputation of the institution depends solely on the faculty as well as the students, rather than the infrastructure facilities. You are very young, vibrant, innovative, because I have visited MIC several times. I really get inspired by your new ideas. That's why I always request Padmarani to invite me as frequently as possible, which she has been doing so far. Our founder always used to say, I have a lot of respect for the youth. Youth of today are going to be the leaders of our country, and I consider them as the real wealth of the country. My dear students, you are the real wealth of our country and the future of our country. And you are very, very innovative, and I strongly feel whatever reputation MIC has built over the period of 25 years is because of your efforts and because of your vibrancy. Now, MIC is involved in so many activities. It's very important that we remember Sri M.V. Kamath, who is no more with us, because it is his brainchild. He started this institution. He was an honorary director till his death in 2014. We always remember him as a mark of respect for the departed soul. We have this endowment lecture every year conducted by MIC, for which very important dignitaries participate. Vice President of India, Venkaiah Naidu, was one of the chief guests. Nirmala Sitharaman was the chief guest. So that shows the amount of respect that he commanded as a journalist of great repute. Indirectly, he was responsible for starting Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, in 1953, first self-financing medical college in the country, because he was the Times of India correspondent at that point of time. Madhav Pai, our founder, Dr. T.M.A. Pai, requested him to put a small ad, which resulted in the starting of this first self-financing medical college in 1953, which we consider as the flagship of our university. So he is responsible for that. We really miss him today. But MIC is doing a lot of works. They are doing a lot of community service also. This Angadi they have mentioned. Every year they have that program, which is basically to promote cottage industry of our local people. It is done for a period of about a week. Lot of people come here, as a result of which our local people, cottage industry gets promoted. I should congratulate MIC for doing this, and also through that community radio. Just now Shambat was here, who was there, started that, They inform the public, the local people, about the activities, and also give some suggestions in promotion of agriculture and other things, because agriculture is the main occupation of this part of the country. So they are doing a lot of innovations, which I am sure they will continue to do in future also. We have two of our former directors here with us, Borod Shivdas Gupta, as well as Evergreen Vardesh Gange, who has changed sides now, switched sides in like politicians. He has moved from MIC to now Gandhian study of peace studies of philosophy. He is with us, still continuing. I say evergreen in Europe because even now he looks very young with hair dyed properly and all. Isn't it, Vardesh? So I would like to remember all the old directors, because they are the ones who have laid the strong foundation for this institution, which has built its reputation over a period of time. So it's very important that you should remember these people who are the strong pillars of strength. If the foundation is strong, then only you can build a multi-storied building. And these people are responsible for that. Two of them have come personally here, Boro Shivdas Gupta as well as Vardesh Gange. My warm welcome to you, and thank you very much for all that you have done to bring reputation to this great institution. As has been already told, MIC, Manipal Institute of Communication, is one of the most reputed institutions of our university. We are running more than 25 institutions in our university, but this is one of the reputed ones. In the top hierarchy, they said it's top ranked university. We are the institution, I'm sure, under the dynamic leadership of Padma Rani. The reputation of this institution, and also with the support of the faculty and students, the reputation of this institution will scale to great heights, greater heights, and I wish this institution every success. Thank you very much for the opportunity given. Thank you. Bye.
Bilal for giving us a glowing insight into the past and present of Manipal Institute of Communication.
To wind up this glorious evening, we would like to request Dr. Shubha H.S., Professor, Head of Department Media Studies, to propose the vote of thanks.
Gratitude is the most exquisite form of courtesy, they say, and I deem it my privilege to express our gratitude to all present here on this special occasion. I represent the university and the institute as a professor, but I'm also an alumni of the second batch of MIC, so I suppose Dr. Padma Rani thought I should do this job for this event. Honorable dignitaries, respected guests, dear alumni, most valued invitees, beloved students, ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to convey our respectful gratitude to Honorable Dr. Ramdas Pai, Chancellor of Mahe, for conceptualizing MIC in 1997 with Shri M.V. Kamath, way before most of the private universities even thought of starting an institute of this kind. We are grateful to Dr. Ranjan Pai, Chairman MEMG, for his focused support in helping us grow. And we convey our sincere thanks to Mrs. Vasanti Pai, Trustee Mahe. She has always supported us in all our activities. To Mr. Harish Bijur, a big thank you for joining us on this occasion today. I'm sure you'll agree that when a media professional visits a media school, there are many outcomes. We look forward to associating with you in the future. We acknowledge and cherish the blessings and support lent to us by Dr. H.S. Ballal, Pro-Chancellor Mahe. Over the years, he has seen our institute grow from about 25 people to about 700 people now. Ma'am Indira Ballal, we are honored by your presence this evening. Thank you very much. We wish to place on record the encouragement we have always received from our respected Vice Chancellor, Dr. Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh. Sir, thank you for believing in us and being here today. We would like to acknowledge our gratitude to Dr. Narayan Sabahat, former Registrar and Pro-Vice Chancellor, Faculty of Technology and Science, for always guiding us in the right direction. Ma'am Jayalakshmi Sabahat, your presence this evening is much appreciated. Thank you very much. Dr. Madhuvir Raghavan, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Faculty of Management, Law, Humanities and Social Sciences. Sir, we are grateful for your online presence this evening. We wish to place on record our sincere gratitude to all the university officials, the heads of institutions, special invitees and guests who have honored our invitation and joined us this evening. Thank you very much. To all the former directors of MIC who have come today and the MS Communication batch of 1997-99, we are happy that you joined us today. We will remain grateful to you and we thank you very much for your presence. To all the alumni who have come from all the other batches of MIC, a mighty thank you to everyone for coming. We surely want to catch up with each one of you later in this evening. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by Dr. Padma Rani and a team of very motivated and dedicated students, staff and faculty. I cannot thank everyone enough for their involvement that they have shown and the willingness that they have expressed to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zone. But I must mention one of my younger colleagues, Sri Raj Gudi, who is the alumni representative from MIC. I'm sure he's had sleepless nights listening to all the demands and expectations of all of us. I'm sure he can sleep well tonight. Thank you for your patience. Our special thanks to the management and staff of Fortune in Valley View for providing us this fantastic venue and I hope a lovely dinner. If time is money, then today you have all spent millions for us. Thank you for being here and making this event happen successfully. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
And who better to put forth before you the glorious culture of our nation other than us, the students of Manipal Institute of Communication.
So ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax and let the performances transport you into a celebration of emotions and expressions.
Tradition desires a dance rendition describing the celestial beauty of Lord Shiva, commencing our celebration with the symbol of divinity.
Presenting the graceful beauty of Kathak and Bharatnatyam combined with the rhythmic lure of the Damru performed by Kalyani Kumar and Aditi Mehendle.
कैलासनाथने कृपाकरने भयहरने सनहौ ईशने कैलासनाथने कृपाकरने भयहरने सनहौ दीनर पोरेवन सभापतिये दीनर पोरेवन सभापतिये दैन्यदि बेडु बलिपारेया तायु मानवनागी पूसनु पोरेदे ಎನ್ನನಿ ಪಾಲಿಸೆಯ ಮತ್ತು ಉದ್ಧರಿಸೆ ಮೋಕ್ಷವ ಕರುಣಿಸು ನರರಾಜನೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಕಮಾನವ ಕರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದ ಘೋರ ರೂಪ ಭಯಂಕರನೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಕಮಾನವ ಕರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದ ಘೋರ ರೂಪ ಭಯಂಕರನೆ ಅಸ್ಮಾಕರುಣಮಾಲಾಲಂಕೃತ ತ್ರಿನೇತರೆ ಲೋಕನಾಥನೆ ಅಸ್ಮಾಕರುಣಮಾಲಾಲಂಕೃತ ತ್ರಿನೇತರೆ ಲೋಕನಾಥನೆ ಲಿಂಗರೂಪ शंभो हर हर महादेव शंभो हर हर महादेव शंभो महादेव शंभो महादेव शंभो शंभो
and divine music had us all thrilled and mesmerized. Moving on, when the stage storms with the powerful beats of Lavani, the entire hall will echo with chimes.
So brace yourselves for the energetic display of emotions presented by our skilled dancers.
जीव झाला येडा पिसा त्याचा नाही भरवसा तोर राहीना आखली ती वरची तुमच्या जोडीनं मी आले पीरतीच्या या रंगीराया चिंगोली मी झाले काय सोडा तरी काय नाही बरी पुन्हा भेटता तरी साजना मला जाऊ त्यानं घरी आवाज रे की बाळा जाऊ त्यानं घरी आवाज रे की बाळा मला जाऊ त्यानं घरी आवाज रे की बाळा मला जाऊ त्यानं घरी थोड़ी थोड़ी शुक्र मचाए रे हाय मेरी जिंदगी भी सर की जाए रे
पूरे लोटन दे अंदर आलो दून रंगन ठोकर यमुन धरती दीदार जेवा करीन तुला देवाला धरीन देवाला धरीन माझी उंदर भरीन आई सांभाळ सांभाळ कुशीत लेकराला आई सांभाळ सांभाळ कुशीत लेकराला लाजून भंडार पुरं लोटून दे अंधार आलो पूर्ण रंगून डोगर यंगून उघड देवी नंदाची भंडार पुरं लोटून दे अंधार आलो पूर्ण रंगून डोगर यंगून उघड देवी दार
Intense and charming performance. Lavani had us all glued to the edge of our seats.
As MIC is 25 steps in on the path of life, let's dive back into a nostalgic visit to the songs of our past with a melodious group of young vocalists, presenting MIC's Music Club Unplugged.
Friends, what a beautiful evening. Hope the rays of the setting sun has calmed you down. Today, we are going to present a big fat Indian wedding. A wedding that was called off for the 99th time for various reasons. Will it work at least this time? With all due humble pranams and prayers, we present to you the wedding of Putana, son of Dodana, with Muthu Lakshmi.
अय्यो मुर्गन हमारा मोबाइल किधर है जी मिलता ही नहीं
पंडितार वांगो पंडितार शादी का रस्म शुरू कीजिए
लड़की को बुलाओ जी
गरुणध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षाय मंगलाय तनोहरि सच्चिदानंद रूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादि हेतवे तापत्राय विनाशाय श्री कृष्णाय वयं नमः।
मुर्गना एक चक्कर एक्स्ट्रा हुआ जी, रिवर्स हुआ जी। हाय हाय ए सेल्वी बारे मत होना।
खुशियाँ लाया, नाना नानी उसकी मिलके नजर उतारे, लो बधाइयाँ देते रिश्तेदार सारे, भैया बहना देवर नंदी मिलकर खुशी मनाते।
आजकल तेरे मेरे प्यार के चर्चे हैं जुबान पर, सबको मालूम है सबको नहीं तो क्या, मेरे सामने वाली मेरे जाने अफसोस है कि वो हमसे छुपा चला जाता प्रेमी दुनिया छोड़ चले, जीवन की हम सारी रस्में तोड़ चले। कभी कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है, ये जैसे तुझको बनाया गया है मेरे लिए। बंधन चली बोलो ए जाती रे जाती रे, बंधन चली बोलो ए जाती रे। दिल है छोटा सा छोटी सी आशा, मस्त भरी मन की भोली सी आशा। हाय रे हाय रे हाय रब्बा, हाय रे हाय रे हाय रब्बा, जीता जाग का ताज में मेरा है ना। तुम पास आए यूं मुस्कुराए, तुमने न जाने क्या सपने दिखाए। अब तो मेरा दिल जागे न सोता है, क्या करूं भाई कुछ कुछ होता है। ना तुम जानो ना तुम जानो ना। पहला नशा पहला धुआं, नया प्यार है नया इंतजार। कर लूं मैं क्या अपना हाथ, ऐ दिल बेकरार, मेरे दिल बेकरार, तू ही बता। अल्लाह के बंदे हंसते, अल्लाह के बंदे, अल्लाह के बंदे हंसते, जो भी हो कल फिर आएगा। अल्लाह के बंदे हंसते, जो भी हो कल फिर आएगा।
Well, that was quite literally music to our ears.
And musing to our soul.
We've been mesmerized by the beauty of the classical dance,
We've tapped our feet to the powerful beats of the Lavani.
and we've swayed to the sweet melody of Unplugged.
So, for our grand finale, make space for you're going to want to dance away.
Presenting the unmatched classic dances of Bollywood, performed by our energetic artists.
Let's head on to a trip through the eras of the rejoicing songs of Bollywood.
तुमने कभी किसी से प्यार किया? कभी किसी को दिल दिया? मैंने भी दिया।
ये काली काली आँखें, ये गोरे गोरे कान, ये तीखी तीखी नजरें, ये हिरनी जैसी चाल।
कोई बात नहीं सेनोरिटा, कोई बात नहीं। बड़े बड़े देशों में ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं।
कोई मिल गया, मेरा दिल गया, क्या बताऊं यारो, मैं तो हिल गया, कोई मिल गया, मिल ही गया, मिल ही गया। यार मिसाले ओस चले पाँव के तले, फिर दोस चले, कभी डाल डाल, कभी बात बात में हवा पे ढूंढूं उसके निशान। सारे इश्क की छाँव चल छैया छैया, सारे इश्क की छाँव चल छैया। पाँव जन्नत चले चल छैया छैया, पाँव जन्नत चले चल छैया, चल छैया 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 छैया, चल छैया 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 छैया, चल छैया 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 छैया, छैया 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 छैया। मैंने जिसे अभी अभी देखा है, कौन है वो अनजानी। वो है कोई कलिया कोई किरण, क्या है कोई कहानी। उसे जितना देखूं उतना सोचूं, क्या उसे मैं कह दूं। Pretty woman, hey, pretty woman, देखो देखो ना pretty woman, pretty woman, देखो देखो ना pretty woman। झुमका गिरा दे जो मिला ले, अगर वो नजर से नजर मिटा दे। नच के दिखा दे सबकी धड़कन की, कसम से कसम मिला दे। चाल के चाल बिछा के दिल को यूं बजा रज रज के, ओ सयार मनाना ये नच के सीना। सिर ते दुपट्टा लेरिया, नच पिंड दी कुड़ी दे नाल चेरिया ते ढोल वजदा, कुड़ियों क्यों लजदा। की तरंग गया गोरियां, साडी रब ने बना दी जोड़ियां ते ढोल वजदा, मेरो ढोल वजदा। देखो देखो है शाम बड़ी दीवानी, धीरे धीरे बन जाए न कोई कहानी। दिल पर है दिलकश है, दिलदार नजारे है। ब्रेकिंग न्यूज आए मेरा साथ बना है, बगदाद से लेकर दिल्ली आबाद बना। टीवी पे ब्रेकिंग न्यूज आए मेरा साथ बना है, बगदाद से लेकर दिल्ली आबाद बना।
मैं नाचा तो सबको करंट लगा रे, रंग लगा रंग लगा रंग लगा रे। मैं नाचा तो सबको करंट लगा रे, तुम क्या मेरा एक्सीलेंट लगा रे। मैं नाचा तो सबको करंट लगा रे। चका 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 चौम अपनी बस्ती रे, साली बस्ती रे। पर 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 सारे मस्ती में डूबे मस्ती में। बड़ी अतरंगी अपनी अतरंगी, बड़ी अतरंगी अपनी है जीत साली, बड़ी अतरंगी अपनी है जीत साली। तरंग भड़क साली, चटक पटक पटक साली, दुश्मन की देखो जो साथ लाओगी।
Living and laughing through the day, expressing emotion in our unique way.
Filming and interviewing anyone, anywhere, every student embodying creative flair.
Sleepless nights to meet deadlines, but with happy faces the day resigns.
Music in beats may rest away, but to life's tune, MIC will always sway.
With that tremendous display of tradition, we now approach the end of today's joyous celebration.
Signing off, this is Priyan and Navisha, two fellow students on behalf of the entire MIC family. Thanking you from the bottom of our hearts for gracing the occasion with your cordial presence.
We hope you have a great evening ahead. We request you to please proceed for dinner. There are 4 separate counters waiting to serve you delicious food to conclude the event. Thank you.
सब ठीक ठाक? चिट्ठियाँ लिखना तो तुझे याद ही नहीं रहता। वैसे आज 11 फरवरी।
तेरी मेरी गल्लाए होगी मशहूर, करना कभी तू मुझे नजरों से दूर। किथे चलिए तू, किथे चलिए तू, किथे चलिए। जानदा है दिल ये तो जान दिया तू, तेरे बिना मैं न रहूं मेरे बिना तू।